Hi, I'm Colleen Pearl, the Cool Crone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about the new moon in Aries happening on April 1st. There is a sharp distinction between the moon in Pisces and the moon in Aries. Notice that energy now is moving forward, more aggressive, and you will start to feel the impulse to start things. In short, you'll feel spring. The energy is different. Chi is in the air. The moon in Aries is bold, impulsive, energetic. It's a period when we feel feisty, maybe a little argumentative, and this is when even the most reticent of those among us are able to actually stand up for themselves and protect their own personal feelings. This is a natural time to start all kinds of projects. It's a wonderful time to channel that energy for you personally and to initiate change, new beginnings. It's also a new moon, so it's a good time to get in touch with your feelings and to initiate things that will make you feel better. Just watch out for a tendency to be too impulsive or too argumentative with those around you. But on the other hand, this can be a very enjoyable couple of days to meet with friends and family and spend some time in meaningful conversation. These are days that are filled with vibrancy and a call to spontaneity. Go with the flow. Don't jam up your schedule with too many things back to back. Just let yourself be spontaneous just for this day. Like all new moons, you should go within and try to face the shadow issues that are still there. When you feel the butterflies start to flutter in your tummy, then you know that you've hit on one of the important ones. Now I'm going to discuss the various aspects hitting this new moon, one by one. The first aspect we're going to talk about is the Sun conjunct Mercury. This is a great time to make plans and goals. Many conversations will take place now, as indicated by Mercury, and travel is favored because your mind may become restless and desire a new environment. So travel is a great way to change your environment temporarily and satisfy that need for variety. Don't allow yourself to become overstimulated. When the Sun is conjunct Mercury, which is known as Cassimi, people's brains tend to get completely almost fried. So be careful of that. If you are a person whose chart has degrees close to what's going on for the Sun, then you do need to be careful about this aspect. But if you find yourself becoming overstimulated, just breathe and try to relax. In through the nose and out through the mouth. It's the best way to relax known to man. Moon conjunct Mercury. This is not a good time to make big decisions. Instead, it's a great time to talk about your feelings. Get it all out on the table right now. This aspect does not last more than a few hours. So rather than getting bogged down and obsessing over small details, just take a break. It will pass. And then when you come back, the feeling will be gone. Venus conjunct Mars. Now we've been talking about Venus conjunct Mars for about a month now, and it hasn't really changed, except that Venus and Mars are in a new sign. They're in Aquarius. You will be feeling a strong physical desire, basically to mate, although you may be very willing to please. Now, if you're a female especially, you're going to have the energy to want to please whatever desirable looking partner catches your eye and just do anything to couple with them, to be in a partnership with them. These sexual urges are very high, but they may not last very long. Well, the relationship may not last very long. However, you are sending out vibes of great attractiveness and allure, so you may be attracting a lot of different partners. Don't just settle for the first one that comes along. Choose carefully, and then you'll be a lot happier at the end of this aspect. Now, Mars is also conjuncting Venus, and that's also a very creative urge. It is actually the urge to create life. So you want to create. That's what the impulse is. It's just pushing you forward, create. But it might not be only expressed by creating life, meaning sexual urges to create a baby, but it might be that your impulse to create is a more artistic or even communications avenue. So look at what's going on around you. If the partnership thing is not working out, use that impulse, use that energy to either do something very creative in communications or something artistic. And that way you'll still have the satisfaction of having created something, and you will not have, like, ruined your relationships all around you. That desire for physical love will probably be there for quite a while, but the joy and the feeling of satisfaction that you gain from creating something artistic or even in the communication areas will likewise be very, very satisfying. Now, Venus conjunct Saturn can have several implications. You may find that at this time you do commit to a very, very serious long-term relationship. You may connect with an older person in a relationship, and not necessarily only a romantic relationship. This could possibly be a business partnership. Or you may consult with an older person about either a business or romantic relationship. If you already have standing relationships in either business or romantic arena, then you may separate from that partner during this conjunction. Or you may find that you are very restrained in expressing your emotions and affection, or you may find that your partner is very cold and very restrained in expressing their affection. So Venus conjunct Saturn can express in a variety of different ways, but if any of those situations is happening to you, then you probably have a sensitive degree to this Venus conjunct Saturn. So I would say take a look at your chart and see what's going on, maybe even consult a professional astrologer. Venus squaring the North Node. Now, this may make you feel like every potential partner that you come in contact with is a soulmate, and they may not be. But you may have a really great affinity with them. You may find them very sexy, very affectionate, very beautiful, and they may find the same about you. And it could be real. I mean, this could be a very long-lasting relationship. You will find that the people that you meet now have very similar tastes to you in beauty and art, and you'll really appreciate that good taste. You will find that the connections are very, very harmonious. However, once the transit passes, you may find that there's other things between you and your new partner that don't mesh so well. Or maybe not. Maybe it's a great relationship and everything will go just hunky-dory. Just know that right now you have the ability to attract and to create a relationship with just about anybody you want, but so do other people, because other people are experiencing these transits as well. Now, the negative side of this transit is that it can be difficult for you to feel satisfied or to feel inner peace during this transit. And in your love life, you may find that there's a constant state of conflict going on, and that may not go away even after the aspect has passed. So you have a feeling of unfulfillment, and yet you have a very great need for affection at the same time. It's just very hard to satisfy. So my advice to you would be to take it slow. When you're meeting somebody new and you're trying to start out in a relationship, really get to know them. Do not jump into big commitments, certainly not marriage right away. Make sure that you really understand what the person's values in life are and see that they mesh with yours. Aside from the chemistry, aside from the attraction that you may have, get down to values and basics with that person. And then if that attraction and chemistry is long-lasting and enduring, then you will have found a magnificent relationship. And all of us want that. Mars conjunct Saturn. Now this is an aspect that gives you low energy. You just don't feel like yourself. You just don't feel like you can accomplish the things that you normally do physically. Also, it tends towards causing you to sort of bottle up your negative feelings like anger. So you may feel that this anger is building and building inside of you with nowhere to go. Fortunately, this is a short-lived transit. It's not going to last a very long time. What I would suggest doing during the full moon while the Mars is conjunct Saturn, although I've been talking a lot about all of this relationship stuff, What I'm going to tell you is that as soon as you start to feel that anger, instead of suppressing it and denying that it's there, go off and do something solo. Do something by yourself. Just make sure that you're not using cutting tools like saws, knives, even hammers, because you could hurt yourself also during this transit. So it's best to tackle something that's difficult, but not too physically difficult, so that you can just focus on that task while the anger is building, and then there's nobody to be angry about. So you don't have that issue with the anger. Mars is being expressed through the task of doing the thing that you're going to be doing, and Saturn's, instead of constricting and holding back the anger, Saturn is focused into the structure or construction that you are exhibiting or implementing in this task. Mars square the node. Now, Venus and Mars, because they're conjunct, they're going to have very similar aspects to all these other planets, and the Mars squaring the node is no different. The positive thing about this aspect is that it gives you a lot of energy and determination to reach your goals. You can fight with a passion for whatever is important to you. The negative side of it is that it causes great inner frustration and tension, and you never feel satisfied. You have a fighting spirit and a desire to conquer, but you're distracted. You're distracted from your focal point in life. So there is a danger that you can create an artificial enemy as a result of this suppressed aggression. You may blame somebody, in other words, a scapegoat. And the behavior of this so-called scapegoat may be, maybe they're doing something wrong, but your response to it will be exaggerated. So be careful with this. Try to funnel the energy into really focusing on your inner purpose in life, your higher purpose in life, your mission in life, whatever your goal, your destiny, rather than blaming other people for not getting what you want. That's the negative aspect of this, and you want to stay away from that. The next aspect that we have is Jupiter conjunct Neptune. Now, for most people, this will be a time of charity, helping others, giving of your time, your skills, your money, and whatever you can give to help those less fortunate. Not so much about changing the world, but just about giving so that people who have immediate need can be helped. You may even join or contribute to organizations that are of a humanitarian mode. Now, this transit will continue to be an orb through the end of June, and that's when Neptune retrogrades and starts to pull away from Jupiter. As Jupiter moves forward in Aries, Neptune's going to move backwards more in Pisces, and then we won't have that so much. But for now, it's great for charitable organizations because a lot of people are going to be giving. But there is a negative side to this as well. There are those who will respond to this energy by only looking at the bright side or just being in denial about what's going wrong. Or worse, they're building up false leaders as the solution to all the world's problems. So this is where we get into cults and gurus and religious leaders that are just there to make a buck. And they may capitalize, not just the leaders, but the people too who are joining these leaders may try to capitalize and exploit the suffering of others, and they're going to try to make money and capitalize on this opportunity. So you have to be careful about that. You have to be careful about the organizations that you contribute to or even that you join. Just check them out a little bit. It doesn't take much of a Google search to figure out whether a charity is really good or not. So yeah, it's going to be a long period of charitable giving for people, but it's also going to be a long period of these people that are looking for, gurus and leaders who are going to probably turn out to be not so nice. Jupiter is going to be sextile the North Node, and the good thing about this aspect with all the other Venus and Mars aspects is that it's going to make people confident in their abilities and help them to overcome challenges in life. So when they look at their overall mission in life, they're going to be optimistic, and they're going to realize that their experience in life is bringing them to this moment, and hopefully they'll be really grateful for what's going on in their life. So hopefully all that negative stuff we talked about earlier will just be ignored, and they'll go straight for the higher, more spiritual values of their life, and be grateful for what they've been given. And Jupiter is definitely a boon, so that is definitely something to be grateful for. We have another aspect to the nodes, and that's Saturn squaring the aspect. And this is a difficult aspect, but it can be positive in that it allows you to really focus on overcoming those challenges in your life. Now, Jupiter gave you a lot of confidence, maybe even some overconfidence, and Saturn brings you down to earth and really lets you get to work at it. So it gives you consistency. It makes you aware of your responsibilities. It'll make you tireless in your work to overcome obstacles in meeting the challenges of your life, but also in reaching your goals, in reaching your destiny, in fulfilling what you feel is your mission in life. It raises your standards as well. So you're not going to be a person who's going to exploit a charity, for instance. You're going to work on the right side. You're going to be working, say, on the board of directors or leading things or directing giving or something like that. So you'll set high standards for yourself, and your goals probably will be ambitious, but this aspect, along with the Jupiter aspect, gives you the optimism and determination to fulfill those goals. So we want to focus on being able to fulfill goals, because Saturn, can be kind of a downer. And when Saturn comes into a harsh aspect with any planet, it can be debilitating. Same here. So Saturn squaring the node can also make you feel a little depressed or pessimistic or even hopeless about overcoming challenges in life. And you may be afraid to go out and really, really try. But you have that Jupiter aspect too. So I think most people are going to be looking at this in a very, very positive way. Just be careful about falling back into old patterns that did not serve you. And it's a new moon, so it's time to look at what does not serve you and let it go. So people who actually have this as a aspect in their natal charts often overload themselves so that they fail. They sort of set themselves up for failure. And we don't want to do that. You want to focus on the positive and focus on your optimism and confidence and your hard work, your ability to overcome challenges through your own work. And two more aspects to the nodes. Neptune sextile the node, and this is a very positive aspect that gives you a focus on spirituality. And because of your faith in your spirituality, you are very sure about your decisions, and this will help you overcome life challenges too. This goes along very nicely with the Jupiter aspect as well. In this instance, Jupiter and Neptune are playing like, friends. They're really playing nice together, and they're helping you to see your goal in life, your destiny in life, your mission in life, and helping you know that with your spirituality, you can overcome anything and you can achieve your goals. So this is a real, real positive aspect. And then we have Pluto trine the node, and in this instance, now Pluto can often be very negative, right? It's the destroyer. It unleashes its nuclear power to destroy things and break everything down. But in this instance, it's very positive. It gives you a fascination with, the journey of your life, the mission, the destiny of your life. It gives you a different perspective on your nodes, on your destiny, your true north of life. It also allows you to experience power and powerlessness in an almost detached way, and allows you to look at your shadow self and realize that you can overcome that. Don't forget, you've got Saturn in that challenging aspect. This is a great time to get into your shadow work and really, really try to mine those shadow issues for all they are worth, and to pull out of them some beautiful lessons that you can utilize in going on your life path. So this is all of the planetary aspects that are going to be in effect on April 1st when we have the new moon in Aries coming up. So with the new moon for Aries, this is your new moon. We all get a new moon once a year and a full moon once a year. The full moon usually happens about 6 months after our birthday, and the new moon usually happens right around our birthday. So Sun, Moon, and Mercury in your first house. You're going to be talking. You're going to be having a lot of conversations with people, and that's good, Aries, because this new moon is your time to plan things out for the next year. and it may help you to discuss things with your closest friends and family. So I want you to sit down with a date book and just plan things out, set some goals, really get real about where you want to be a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 10 years from now if you're really into it. But for most Aries, planning a year out is a tough assignment because they like to do things quickly. They're impulsive. They don't like to stop and plan things a million ways to Tuesday. But I'm asking you to do that now because it's your only new moon for the whole year. Now you've got some other planets that we have to talk about. You've got Pluto up there in your 10th house for career, so that's a big deal. And you've been dealing with that for the last, let's see, since 2008, so quite a few years. And then in your 11th house, you have Saturn, Venus, and Mars. So that's where all that relationship stuff is going to come in. I hope you listen to the beginning of the video so that you know all about that impulse to mate that is going on with Venus and Mars. But Saturn is there, so you could be joining groups. You could be joining groups that usually cater to older people, and you may meet older people in these groups. You may meet people your own age, who knows, but in the groups that you're moving into and joining, that's where you're going to probably find your new partner. Now, you may find that the groups move too slowly for you, or you may join them and then have to, be gone for the next 3 meetings or something. There could be some kind of separation. That's the Saturn indication. But I think getting involved with groups is going to be really important for you at this time, Aries. In the 12th house, you have Neptune and Jupiter. So there's kind of a subconscious feel for you that you want to give back, that you want to help others. You want to do something that makes your life more meaningful and that really makes a difference. And that's a very good impulse to have, Aries, and we need more of that in the world. Now, next month, that impulse is probably going to change a little bit, but not too much. And by June, you're going to be finding yourself either leading a group that is a charitable group, or you're going to be much more heavily involved with a charitable organization that really makes you feel like you're making a difference. All right, then we move on to Taurus. Taurus, you've got the new moon in your 12th house. So this is your new moon to get ready for next month when you have the new moon in your first house. So I want you to be listening to your dreams, writing down your dreams, using this new moon to really go within and get some shadow work out of the way so that when you come to your new moon next month, you're really ready to make your own plans and decisions about the future. You've got Jupiter and Neptune in the 11th house for groups. So I'm guessing, Taurus, that you're doing everything that you can to contribute to some sort of worthy causes where they help people who have an immediate need. This is going to be very, very strong for you for a while, at least up until the end of June when Neptune goes retrograde. So you're going to be maybe feeling almost a little drained by all the giving that you're doing. So make sure that you are practicing good self-care, getting enough rest, eating right, getting some fresh air, so that you're not just depleted by the time we come to the end of June, because that's when we want to take summer vacations, right? Your 10th house is Aquarius. You've got Saturn, Venus, and Mars up there. So it looks like career-wise, you could be joining a new entity. You could be making new friends on the job. You could be getting a new boss. You could be getting involved with somebody who's older, more like a mentor at this time. So lots of exciting changes could be happening on the job or career front for you, Taurus. And I know that with Saturn up there, you're liking that energy. You like that staid, solid, secure energy. So this is going to be a really nice new moon for you, and I wish you the best of luck. Then we come to Gemini, and Gemini for you on this new moon, all the planets are above the horizon. So that means that a lot of activity is going to be happening out in the world reflected back to you. So Uranus is still in the 12th house. That's nothing new. But for the new moon in your 11th house, you've got Sun, Moon, and Mercury. So you're going to be involved with a lot of groups. You're going to be seeking out new groups. You're going to be maybe dropping some groups and joining some new groups, but you're going to be talking with the people in these groups about what their activities are actually all about. In your 10th house, you've got Jupiter and Neptune, and so your career is making a big shift towards giving, towards helping others, towards being very humanitarian, very charitable. And this will continue, this real focus on charitable giving through your career until the end of June when Neptune goes retrograde. So be ready for that. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself and that you have enough energy to really fulfill those goals. Because as you know, right now in the world, we need a lot of charitable giving. And you've got Saturn, Venus, and Mars in your 9th house. So you're going to be looking at meeting people from other countries, meeting people over the internet, meeting people who have written books, the publishing industry, and also people who are older than you. And they may be older than you and also born in another country or from another place, or they just moved into your area. There's an emphasis here on things that are from far away. So people that are from far away, older people especially that are from far away, and also the Venus and Mars conjunction there. So this means that you could be setting up a relationship with somebody who's from a foreign country or somebody who was born in a foreign country. And it could be a great relationship. It could be kind of a quickly manifested relationship, but it actually could be very long lasting. So that's what I have for you, Gemini. And then we're going on to Cancer. Cancer, for you, we've got Pluto in your 7th house, right? That's been there forever. It's been there since 2008. And you've got Uranus in your 11th house for groups and hopes, dreams, and wishes. So things on those two fronts have just been in upheaval and changing a lot for like the last 11 years. Now, the Aries new moon takes place in your career sector. So Cancer, I think things probably are not changing in your career, but you could be planning on changing things in your career over the course of the next year. And you could make some significant changes in your career over the next month. Lots of conversations with new people, lots of talking, lots of soul searching about what you really want to do and where you really want to be in your career over the next 12 months. The 9th house has Neptune and Jupiter there. So you're going to be giving and getting involved with organizations overseas, organizations that give and help people who are overseas that are in need. That's going to be a big thing for you all the way through the end of June. That's when Neptune goes retrograde. So I think that's going to be an important part of your life right now, Cancer. Then we have Saturn, Venus, and Mars in your 8th house for joint resources. So you and your partner are going to be looking at really solidifying and maybe conserving your joint resources in a different way. You could be starting new things. Also, this could put a really different spin on your sex life. That could really be rejuvenated right now. You may go back to doing things the way you used to do things or whatever. Or you may just be revamping your wills and trusts at this time and changing up how you deal with your joint finances. So, but some focus is going to be on joint finances, but that house also rules sex, death, and taxes. So all of those things are going to be looked at with an eye towards conservatism, which is Saturn, or older things, which is also Saturn, older people, which is also Saturn. It could be a will that you're dealing with. But then you have Venus and Mars, which is the procreative or making life or making new things, making new relationship aspect of Mars and Venus being conjunct. So kind of interesting. I'm not quite sure how that's going to play out for you, but it's going to play out for you. Okay, so then on to Leo. Leo, you have a lot of very important planets in your 7th house, so your partner is going to be really, really important to you this new moon. And the new moon is actually falling in your 9th house, which is for people from other places, people from foreign countries, also the internet, also space, also the publishing industry, or even just learning about people from other cultures and learning their languages. So you're going to have a big impetus, Leo, to possibly learn a new language, possibly take a trip to a foreign country. And with Jupiter and Neptune, in your 8th house, you may even be contemplating taking money out of your retirement fund in order to fund this trip. That's what I'm going to say to you. Um, Saturn, Venus, and Mars is in your seventh house, so your relationship, as I said, is really going to be a focus. However, there's going to be maybe an elderly parent who has to be supported, or a child who has to be put through college, or something is going to be happening surrounding your relationship and other people, people who depend on you, basically. Now, your partner may be an older person as well, and that may be some kind of an adjustment to your savings plan or your 401k or your life insurance. Something like that might be going on, because you've got the involvement to the eighth house with Neptune and Jupiter as well. So you're really going to be thinking about all of those things, Leo, and maybe making some dramatic changes in those areas. And then we have Virgo. Virgo, the new moon for you happens in your eighth house, so the focus for this new moon is going to be on joint resources for you and your partner. You may be digging into it and using those funds. You may be just talking about them, talking about revamping them, moving them, changing them, adding to them, making bigger contributions, or you may start taking money out of your retirement funds. You may have hit retirement and now you need those funds. For the seventh house, for your partner and you, we have Neptune and Jupiter. So I have a feeling that there is a situation with you and your partner where you need to either take care of your partner, or you need to give your partner some of the money that you have in your joint resources. Like you may need to cash in an insurance policy, or take money out of a 401k or some other sort of investment fund in order to help your partner. In the work sector, you've got Saturn, Venus, and Mars, which means that you're going to be meeting a lot of new people on the job. You may be seeing the retirement of a loved boss, or you may be getting a new boss who's much older than you expect them to be. And there are new relationships happening in the job area. You could be meeting somebody new. This could threaten your current relationship if you're already attached. Or if you're single, this could mean a great match with a new person who has a lot of things in common with you. So the sixth house is the house for work and for health. So I would be careful about your knees, which are ruled by Saturn, and also your bones. I would really tell you to go see, go get some checkups, go get some tests run, make sure that everything is good in all of those areas. Venus and Mars in the sixth house promise vitality. I will tell you that. It doesn't mean that you're going to get sick. Just Saturn there says that you should watch out for those particular things. And it could also mean new pets coming into your life. Sometimes the sixth house is looked at as the house for pets. So you could be getting a new dog or a cat or a fish or a gerbil or whatever in the next month or so. All right, moving on to Libra rising. Libra, this new moon with Mercury is falling in your seventh house, so you're going to be talking a lot with your partner, having long conversations into the night, and this is something that you love. You love communicating. You love the whole intellectual stimulation of talking with your partner. You love the attention that you're getting from your partner. So that's really nice for you. You're going to enjoy this new moon. Now, you've had Uranus in your eighth house for a great deal of time, so I'm not going to harp on that because I've said it in a million other videos that things have changed and are going to continue to change in that area of your life. But in your sixth house for work and health, you've got Neptune and Jupiter. So both of those planets can be good or bad for your health. So with Jupiter, there's a risk of overindulgence, and with Neptune, there's a risk of delusion, mental health, denial, not really paying attention to good things. Now, Jupiter deals with a fire sign, Sagittarius, and Neptune deals with a water sign. So both of those elements, fire and water, are part of what keep us in balance in our bodies. So I would just look at general overall balance in all of your blood chemistries, maybe get some blood work done, and just make sure that everything is really copacetic in that arena. You've got Saturn, Venus, and Mars in the fifth house, Libra. So there's a lot of things that could mean. It could mean that somebody is leaving the family unit, maybe going off to get married, or maybe to go to college, or maybe they're moving to another country, but somebody could be leaving that family unit. Or you could be welcoming new children. Venus and Mars make children, right? That's the procreation principle. So you could be welcoming new children into your life. You could be welcoming new pets into your life. You could be starting a new love affair in your life. And so if you're married, I don't know how good that is, but you could be starting a love affair. I mean, the whole time that Mars and Venus are conjunct, which is lasting for up until next month, you have a lot more allure. You're feeling very attractive, and you're actually looking for another partner, even if you're attached. So I don't know what I have to say about that, but just be careful and know that this person that you take up with, this could be a long-term committed relationship, especially with the influence of Saturn there. They also could be somebody who is quite a bit older than you. Very interesting, Libra. Okay, then we're moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio, you've got the new moon action happening in your 6th house. So in your work arena and your health arena, there could be some changes coming up. You could also just be talking a lot about your health or doing a lot of talking on the job. So if your job involves talking, that's good. But if you're in a job where they don't want you to talk very much, then that's not so good. But that's what's going to be happening. Good time to make plans about your job. Good time to look at, how much do you love the job or not love the job, and maybe you want to make some goals for making some changes on the job. Now, you've got Saturn, Venus, and Mercury in the 4th house for the home, the real estate the home is on, and the family structure. So I would say that with Saturn there, there's probably not going to be significant changes to the family structure, but there could be additions. With Venus and Mars there, that's a very procreative energy, very creative energy. Now, it could be just adding, a new fish tank, but it could be adding children. It could be bringing an elderly relative into the home. It could be some really big changes to the home, but they will be stable with Saturn there. They won't be the kind of change where everybody goes, oh my God, what we're going to do. It's going to be comfortable in a certain aspect, in that you probably do have the accommodations to fit these new people into your life. So I wouldn't worry about it. I don't think it's anything where it's going to be a hardship for you to have these new people in your home. All right, let's move on to Sagittarius. Sag, you have the new moon happening in your 5th house. So this could mean that you are really ready to have a love affair, really ready to start a relationship in some way. And so you're talking, you're flirting, you're reaching out, you're just trying everything you can think of to hook up or partner with somebody new. Now, everybody actually has this Venus, Mars, and Saturn conjunction going on in their chart. So a lot of people are looking for somebody new. So you could really luck out. One relationship breaks up, that could free up a partner for you. So there's some good, there's some bad. It's all in the way you look at it. So Venus and Mars and Saturn in that 5th house is going to give you a sense of responsibility, though, too. So I don't think you're just going to be, willy-nilly picking up somebody in a bar and saying, let's get married while you're drunk. I don't think it's that at all. I think that you'll take a very considered, studied approach to the relationship. When you meet the person, there could be, boom, fireworks, and I think you're going to put the brakes on and really take it slow, which is good. This new relationship that happens under this transit could be a very long-lasting relationship. It could be kind of a soulmate situation. So, don't ignore it. It's a good time to be partnering up with somebody new. You've got Saturn, Venus, and Mars in your 3rd house, which means there could be new children coming along. There could be some issues with if you have children, there could be issues with their school that you have to deal with. They could be changing schools. They could need to go to a new school. There could be something changing with your neighborhood and the way you have to get to work, or the local newspaper guy or whatever, but it's going to affect you. It's not going to be one of these just little everyday things. It's going to be something that actually affects you quite profoundly. Capricorn, of course, you've had Pluto in the 1st house for a long time. I can't do the math, but it's been since 2008. In the second house, you have Saturn, Venus, and Mars, which means that you're going to be looking very closely at increasing income and income streams. You're going to be really thinking about what your own resources are. What are your talents? What are your skills? What can you do? And you're going to either be adding on to the job that you have or completely changing the job that you do in favor of something that's more suited to the skills and talents that you already have. You've got the new moon happening in your fourth house, which means that most likely you're going to be thinking about the home that you live in and planning on whether you want to stay there, whether you want to expand it, maybe do some reconstruction, maybe do some redecorating. Something's going to be changing about that home. It's not necessarily that you're going to sell it, but you could be making changes to the home. And that's going to be the focus of conversations during this new moon. And then we come to Aquarius. Aquarius, you've got that lineup of Saturn, Venus, and Mars in your first house. So you are on the lookout for a new relationship. But I think you're approaching it in an almost business-like way. You could have recently divorced, or you could have recently, ended a relationship and feel like, I'm ready to go. I can get this, but I need a partner. And so your urge is to have a partner, a sexual partner, a romantic partner, but also somebody who's very reliable and who will be very consistent in your life. That's the Saturn aspect of it. And I think there's a good possibility that you can meet that. That energy is going around. That Venus and Mars conjunction has been around for over a month now. And I think a lot of people are coupling up. A lot of people are looking for new relationships. It's just like they threw us all in a Yahtzee cup and shook up the dice, and they're going to throw it out, and all sorts of different couples are going to be happening. That's what I really see going on. So with Saturn there in the first house, even without Venus and Mars, you're going to be all about work right now. You're going to be very serious about what's going on, and you're going to be very constricted. You may even feel a little depressed and feel like you're not finding the person quick enough. Don't give up, Aquarius. And don't give in to that Saturnine depression. I know Saturn is a strong planet for you. It's your classical ruler planet, but having Venus and Mars there should lighten up the mood a little bit and get your juices flowing. That Mars energy is all about sex. The Venus energy is all about affection and attraction. And know that you are also very attractive right now. You are also very alluring to the opposite sex, or whatever sex you're attracted to right now. So this is a great time for you to partner up with somebody, and whoever you do partner up with, this is probably going to be a long-lasting relationship. So don't be so scared about it, Aquarius. Go ahead and reach out, take a few risks. I think you'll find that you're pleasantly surprised by next month. And then we come to Pisces. Thank you for waiting, Pisces. I did the signs all in a row this month, and I don't usually do that. I usually break it up by doing the elements, the signs by elements, but this month I'm doing things a little bit differently, and so this is the way it came out. So Pisces, you've got Jupiter and Neptune in your first house. Of course, you've had Neptune there forever, and now Jupiter has joined it. And you must be feeling a little lighter. You must be feeling a little less like underwater about everything and a little more like you're in the world. And your ideas about spirituality and giving and charity are really being met with much more agreement by people all around you. So that's kind of a good thing, Pisces. You don't feel so alone, in other words. Now, the new moon is actually happening in your second house. So I'm thinking that you're looking for a new job. You're trying to change your streams of income. Maybe you're starting a side hustle, but you're really looking into what are your talents and resources and what can I do to improve my situation. And this new moon is a great time to plan that out and to begin things. So really take advantage of that energy, Pisces. It's a great use of that energy. And realize that Mercury is there too. So if any of your business endeavors use communication, which a lot of businesses do, this is a really good aspect for you, and you should talk with people all over the place, even just friends who have nothing to do with your business, because you never know what's going to connect you with the right person. So don't hold back, Pisces. Go ahead and talk about your plans with people, get it out in the open, and take a risk. Get out there and get some new streams of income going for yourself. I think that's pretty much what I have going on here. Oh, wait, let's talk about Saturn, Venus, and Mars in your 12th house. So you've got this urge to couple, but it's kind of subverted. It's in the 12th house, it's subconscious, it's not really out in the open yet. And that's okay, Pisces. Not everybody has to go out and have a fling right now, but you may find that you do have this really, really big urge to meet or match up with a new person. If that's the case, then go ahead and try. Go ahead and get out there and try for it. You may feel with Saturn there in your 12th house that you don't quite have the energy to do it, but try anyway. To whatever degree you feel like you can get out there and socialize, go ahead and get out there and socialize. I think it's a good thing. I don't know that you're going to really meet somebody terrific and start a new love affair, but if your impulse is to at least go out and socialize, then that's what you should do. Also, that energy is very, very good for artistic expression, and that's where your dreams and your subconscious and your natural affinity with fantasy comes into play. You could use all of that energy just to create some beautiful, beautiful work, and you may even find a partner who wants to work with you on that project, and that could be the partner that ends up being romantic for you. So that's what I have to say about that, Pisces. So for all of the signs, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Please give me a thumbs up. Please leave me some comments down below and let me know what's happening. And for everybody, for all the signs of the zodiac, I will see you next time.